Show me a custom that you made or someone gave you.
You know, it's interesting and a little crazy to me, but I don't really do customs. Now, I did for a while. I actually did. I got into doing customs with Gunpla for a while. I guess this is somewhat fair. I kind of do. Anytime there are any kind of extra pieces or anything that is not used from any kit that I happen to have, or if a kit gets damaged, I break it into pieces to use later on. And I used to make what I called Gunpla trash, where I used these things as action figures. So after a while, I would lose an arm or lose a leg or something like that. And then I would get to the point where I'm like, well, this one's legs are pretty good, but its arms are screwed up. And I would swap them and kind of make makeshift Frankenstein's creation Gunpla. And that was a thing for a while. I also used to paint and permanent marker certain figures, like where I believed that like maybe the ninja would look better in black or something like that. I used to do stuff like that. But for the most part, I've tended lately to view action figures as small pieces of art. And it makes it difficult for me to alter said art. So like, look at this. Down here is Snake Mountain, which is, by the way, the best Snake Mountain that we have. That's not entirely fair, because if I could get the super awesome Super 7 Classics one, of course I'd get it. But in terms of what a normal collector can buy without hardcore going out of their way, this is it, man. And inside of here, there is a bone throne. You see that bone throne? That is a solid bone throne. It's pretty cool. It's bony. It's throny. Now, it's not painted very well. Like, at all. It really isn't. It could be a lot better. In fact, I would tell you that it would be a simple procedure to go over the bone throne and paint it to absolute perfection. I actually don't think it would be that hard. I need some highlighter. So I'd want like bone white. I'd want black. I'd want like a dark horsehair color, like a brown for like the under area where he sits, and a couple of things like that. And maybe some mild darkish green kind of highlighter for some of the bones and whatnot, because I think about Skeletor's bone face and I feel like it would be cool. You get the idea. And I think of all this and I think it wouldn't be that tough of a thing to do myself. But then I stopped myself. And I got to looking at it and I said, I mean, it would be easy to do. But the point of it is for it to look and resemble the toys that came out of the 80s, while at the same time look decent enough to be believable. So it's an updated but retro feeling. And I think that was part of the idea. I really don't think it's just cost-cutting measures or whatever. I honestly think that part of the reason that these Origins figures are not fully crazy detailed is because they're not meant to be. They're supposed to feel like they felt when people bought them back in the 80s. So you're supposed to get this nostalgic lift, like when I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. What would it feel like to buy them again, modern, but still looking old enough to make it feel like they were my childhood toys, but better? And I honestly think that was the idea. And I actually think, and then you've got things like the re-released line. I could have fixed things like the Ecto-1 for the real Ghostbusters. I could paint that thing. There's no reason that I couldn't. I know that I'm capable of doing it. But should I do it? Would that not ruin the artistic aspect of what it's supposed to be, that people come over and they see it and they go, oh man, that's the retro. I had that when I was a kid. And part of that, to me, is what it was about. And it's not that I haven't considered doing customs, but it's interesting that when I saw this video, it got me thinking, this is something that I've completely left behind. I can't remember really the last time I did a custom. Interesting.